not sure we've seen him catch fire quite like that, where it happens just like that. What's kind of your thought process as that's happening?
Yeah, just being around him a lot, and he starts to see it go in. He starts to feel good. He gets in a rhythm. He can score different ways. He and Giannis in a two-man game. It's a tough choice. So, huge fourth quarter. I think he had 20 in the fourth quarter, and yeah, just glad he's on our side.
What does it mean to you when PJ has what is a wide open quarter three and instead finds him for 1-1?
Yeah, it's a great, I think PJ's IQ, PJ's awareness. I thought PJ on the boards was huge. He got, offensive rebound, couple of them, defensive rebounds, the physicality he brings to our group. But yeah, that extra pass to Chris when he's rolling, and to feel that and see it, those are important.
And then just for you, the way that Giannis was going early in the game and then just often throughout, what do you think of the physicality that he brought and the presence that he brought tonight?
Yeah, good. Like you said, I think he got some good stuff going early. I thought the big fadeaway in the middle, Lay was a big basket. His screen setting, playing in transition, so he's going to have to fill his cup back up and get ready to go again.
How much of tonight, too, was sort of weathering storms? Obviously 7-0, down 15, and then even early fourth when Young goes out, that they kind of make a run.
Yeah, no, credit to Atlanta. They came out well. They executed. They ran in they got behind us in transition. So we did not have a good start. And then, a couple of different stretches, weren't our best. But credit to the players in the fourth quarter, 17-point defensive quarter. Just to find a way to win. It's on the road. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. So the guys just found a way tonight.
Right along with that, a start like you had on the road in a game like this can be overwhelming. Is there something that you said or something that was talked about in a huddle just to try to calm this down a little bit?
I remember one time Giannis say, just do it stop by stop. I think Giannis's leadership in the timeouts, Giannis saying, I think when you go to your defense and when that's what you're talking about in timeouts, when you're not playing well, we think that's where it starts. And so I think Giannis and Chris and those guys just getting stops, trying to wear them down. So I think it's just good. That's our identity. We want to be good defensively and play off of that.
You've had Chris for 3 years here. His numbers have been relatively flat, but it seems like he's more comfortable, I guess, in these situations, maybe a little more mature than a couple years ago. Have you noticed that comfort level?
Yeah, no, I think, he's in a good place. I think, our whole group, sometimes you have to go through some things. I didn't understand everything you said, but he's in a good place now. And, I think between Drew and Chris and Giannis and then whoever else is on the court, with them, just finding good spots. There's a lot of confidence in the group.
Following up on that, Bud, to have had Chris pick up 3-4 fouls and then have that fire come in the fourth quarter specifically, where sometimes that's been the time where things get overwhelming, what kind of growth does that show?
Yeah, no, the foul trouble and just, sometimes that can get you off your game. And just, both teams are, constantly complaining and frustrated. And Chris, isn't any different, but then to compose himself, deal with his own personal foul trouble, deal with whatever's going on in the game, compose himself and score 20 in the fourth quarter. Just speaks to his character, to his growth. He's a hell of a player.
Mike, I think you mentioned a couple of things about defense, especially setting the team 20 in the fourth quarter. How did you manage to settle in defensively, especially from the point where I think they were up 95-88?
Yeah, I think just the rotation, the subbing, got to a place. I think Tuck came back in the game, and he brings a great physicality, brings a great defensive mindset. We were able to get a couple of rebounds, and I think found a couple of threes in transition, and the game just flipped right there. I think we were up 96-95, and but. I think more just some natural subs, but I thought Tuck was huge in the fourth quarter, huge just, on the boards. But Chris, Giannis, Chris is switching on to Trae Young, Tuck's switching on to Trae Young, Giannis, all these guys are having to take their turns, and then they got to battle the big guys on the board. So I think taking care of the boards was a big thing, big carryover from game one. So it's just a lot of little things add up to good defense.
But when you first got here, I remember the first few years of you with Chris, you would say like, yeah, it just feels like he just rolled out of bed, like he can do it. Do you feel like there's like a, I don't know, edge, tenacity that like it has flipped a little bit in this third year, or kind of just what are your thoughts on that? Maybe it's the same.
No, I mean, I think he's grown. Like, it's a credit to Chris, the work, the time he puts in, but I think he's constantly growing as a player. I think evolving, finishing, some of his left-hand finishes tonight, impressive. And, and I think, having Drew as a point guard and getting him into places, and obviously Giannis and he have a combination of feeling and play well together. So, but I think Chris has just grown as a player.
But, Chris is one of those guys that doesn't point to himself and create a lot of, attention. He was a second-round pick. A lot of NBA fans probably don't even know where he went to college. Why do you think he's been able to go so far under the radar for his entire career when he can be capable of doing what he did tonight?
Yeah, no, it's hard to sometimes, understand who catches and people's attention and so on and so forth. But he's a winner. From the day I've been around him, he's done nothing but win. He does all the little things. He's quiet, but his voice is loud in our locker room. His voice is loud in our timeouts. So I think he's one of those guys that's, very smooth and just, has a way of playing and can score in ways that, I think kind of sneak up on people. And, but he went to Texas A&M where my oldest son is a senior also. So go Aggies.
Does he rise to the level of superstar? I know you're a little biased, but would you characterize him as a superstar in this league?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not big on, labeling and phrases and terms and all that stuff. He's just a hell of a player. There's lots of great players in this league, and we know what Chris can do for us and how we can win with him, and that's what's most important.
Just checking back in on Giannis, obviously he had huge numbers, real slow start, and in the fourth quarter there was a time where he had both hands on his knees. How is his calf? Did you think it took him a minute to actually get loose?
I think the calf is in a good place. He's going to have to stay on top of it. He's going to have to get, I think, extra time with the sports performance group. But, all these guys, Drew 42, Chris 42, 43 minutes, Giannis 40 or whatever he's at. In this series, recovery and taking care of your body in between games were every other day for the whole series. So, Giannis and his calf, everybody with their whole bodies, we got to put time in between now and tip for game 4. All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.